How Cops Rob the Dark Web King by Fern. Fern's cold at making videos. That's just, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. We're about to see a gem.
It's 11 a.m. 47-year-old Curtis Green is washing down some powdered mini donuts with a bottle of Coke. He's home alone when suddenly his doorbell rings and his two
The
chihuahuas
chug
start
combo.
barking.
My
Surprised,
God.
Green gets up and grabs his wife's pink walking cane. They live in a suburban neighborhood in Spanish Fork, Utah, and don't get visitors often. Shuffling over to the window, he sees a postman hurrying away from the door. But he looks weird. Instead of a full uniform, he's wearing the US Postal Service jacket with jeans and sneakers. And instead of the normal posting van,
Our animations are made by humans. That's weird that they have to say that now.
he's heading to an unmarked white van parked across the street. Nonetheless, lying on the porch is a book-sized package. It has a Maryland postmark on it, but no return address. When Green picks it up, he can feel how heavy it is. He examines the package. Then he limps over the lawn to his trash can and simply throws it away. Then he goes back inside and closes the door. But he doesn't trust his gut instincts for long. After a few minutes, he brings the package inside and grabs a pair of scissors. One cut is all it takes for a plume of white powder to fill the air and cover his face. At this exact moment, the unlocked front door flies off its hinges. A SWAT team bursts into the living room. The package contains over 1 kilogram of high-quality cocaine, stamped with a red dragon. Green drops it and gets down. He doesn't even think about resisting. Officers search him at gunpoint and find $23,000 in cash in his fanny pack. They seize his computer,
Wow.
Bitcoin mining rig, and Samsung phone. Curtis Green is arrested on cocaine
That's him? Bro.
possession with intent to distribute. He has just been the target of a controlled delivery sting operation by the Marco Polo Task Force, a special unit operating out of the Baltimore Homeland Security Investigations Office. It was assembled to bring down one man.
But why did he throw it away and then get it back out of the garbage? You know, bro, that would be so crazy to think back on and be like, all I had to do was just throw it away and then go back inside.
Red Pirate Roberts, the mysterious figure behind the dark web drug empire the Silk Road, and Curtis Green's boss. Green suspects that being a high-level moderator with access to the inner workings of the infamous site makes him extremely
Drea,
valuable
what's
to law
going
enforcement.
on?
As long as he cooperates and DPR doesn't find out, maybe he'll be alright. What he doesn't know is that one of the agents who just busted down his front door will frame him for stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from Silk Road vendors. And his partner will torture Green and force him to help bring down the biggest online drug market in the world.
Wow. And the dude that's
Hey,
running.
you enjoy our videos and work in journalism, or even better, video journalism? We're looking for an experienced writer to join Fern as editor-in-chief. You can find all the details on our
The
parts of
dude
this
that's
video are based on
running the dude that ran the Silk Road, isn't he doing like 20 some years in prison or something?
the
like that?
phenomenal book American Kingpin by Nick Bilton. You'll find a link in the description.
Or 20
He's our
some years.
special
It's
agent
like
Carl Force
200 and something years or something crazy. Oh no, he'll probably talk about
and
it.
special agent Sean Bridges.
Let's finish the video first.
Force is DEA, in charge of the unit's undercover operations and drug-related crimes. He's a veteran with over 15 years of experience under his belt, some of which he worked as an undercover agent. He's no stranger to crafting elaborate personas to avoid detection, infiltrating criminal groups, and dismantling them from the inside out. Bridges is Secret Service, specializing in computer forensics and Bitcoin. For the past 6 years, he was part of the Secret Service's Electronic Crimes Task Force. He has plenty of experience conducting forensic computer investigations to locate and identify targets. He's also well versed in the anonymity software Tor. Tor, or the Onion Router, was developed by the US Navy. It's a specialized software that makes it practically impossible to locate the computer's hosting or accessing websites on the network. It's the backbone of the dark web and used to access sites not found on the public.
If you're able to understand this stuff, bro, it is crazy, like, the power that you could hold. Like, it's just I don't know, it's just so insane, like, because like, obviously, I've looked into this type of stuff, but I've never, like, gone fully into it. People that have gone fully into it, like the guy that we're just watching,
Internet. Sites like the Silk
it's like a
Road,
whole nother
the
world.
largest online black market in the world. Here, vendors sell illicit goods like drugs for Bitcoin. And the two agents just got one step closer to bringing it down. Together, they're sitting behind the computer of Silk Road moderator Flush, otherwise known as the scared old man still being interrogated in the other room. He is one of their first major arrests in this case. A breakthrough. Terrified, Green gives the officers direct access to one of his accounts. They immediately change the password and secure it. Green is a bigger fish than they originally thought. Special moderator privileges given by DPR allow him to change people's
He's like a
passcodes and lock them out
mod
of their
too, bro.
accounts.
Oh my
But that's not all.
God.
Digging a little deeper, they discover that he has access to the Bitcoin of all users. Hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. With a digital currency that was considered pretty much untraceable at the time, it's surprising that Green has this much trust. He could easily steal the money and run. But it's clear that, for some reason, Green is deathly afraid of his boss. As he's being taken to the squad car, he begs the agents not to take him to jail. Agent Force just
You're so
finds his
afraid of your
begging
boss,
pathetic.
and you sitting there
He puts his
talking
number
though.
into Green's phone, tells him to call when he gets out, and sends him on his way.
Hey, as you hopefully know, our videos are animated by humans. On concept, what it does.
A matter of time before looking down the barrel of his dad's 32. He was just released on bail. It's only a matter of time before his mugshot is made public. It's either this
That was not the same guy as the guy that was in the first picture, bro. That was not. There's no way.
or being hunted down by one of DPR's goons. But maybe there's a third option. He throws the gun across the room, picks up his phone, and dials the number of Special Agent Force. The agents continue to poke around Green's
They're gonna
moderator
help him.
account, and one thing becomes abundantly clear. On the Silk Road, he's a top lieutenant, exactly the type of informant they hoped to flip with their sting operation. They meet with Green at the Marriott Hotel in Salt Lake City. There, the agents give him the new password for his account. As long as their mole acts like nothing happened, everything should be fine.
So he goes to prison, goes to jail, gets let out. They take control of his thing and then give it back to him when he gets out.
This is Dread Pirate Roberts. He's the mastermind behind the Silk Road and one of the most wanted men on the internet.
It's crazy. This is
His
2013.
identity
bro.
is a
It's like-
mystery, but his mission is clear. To create
guess that
global
was 13
enterprise
years
whose
ago, but
purpose it is to
still.
empower people to live as free individuals. He often posts about his libertarian ideals in chat rooms and Silk Road forums. He talks about Austrian economics and agorism, the practice of engaging in black market activity as a form of non-violent revolution. He frequently makes his distaste for government regulation heard. Those on the inside support his vision, by any means necessary. At the moment, he's staring at a message from one of his moderators, Inigo.
I detected a possible theft of approximately 20,000 bitcoins. I think the funds were stolen by Flush.
20,000 bit. How much is that now? $1.4 billion, bro. Back then though, that was probably what, 60,000, if that.
It looks like he reset the passwords of individual
3K
Silk Road
apiece.
users.
A bunch of Silk Road vendors have just
2013?
been robbed. At the time, 20,000 bitcoins are worth about $350,000.
Oh,
He knew that something was
350,000.
up when Flush didn't log in for work.
Why aren't
Really?
you
It was,
clearing out your
it was that much in 2013? That's a lot per Bitcoin.
Account.
Jeez Louise.
Get back to me ASAP.
To confirm his suspicions, he pulls up the photocopy of Flush's ID that he asked for when he hired him. A quick Google search of his real name leads him to a website cataloging recent arrests. It confirms his worst fears. One of his top lieutenants is compromised, a man he thought he could trust. Did he start stealing because the feds are onto him? Grab some cash and make a run for it? It doesn't matter.
How do you even
DPR knows he's
get
left
into
with
that
3
position,
options.
bro?
Scare him, beat him, or kill him. And he can't do it alone. It's a job for someone with...
You know, it's not like they just went to a coffee shop. Everybody, all of his mods and him went to a coffee shop and was like, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna... Nah, bro, like, are y'all part of the same Discord server or something, bro? How did these two collide to do this?
Connections in the underworld. And one man immediately comes to mind. A Silk Road user he has gotten to know well over the past 9 months. Nob is a cartel operative and high-rolling drug smuggler from the Dominican Republic. He first contacted DPR on Tor chat, offering to buy the business. But the 9-figure valuation that DPR countered with was a bit steep.
9 figures?
Through, but the two men never stopped chatting. Nob is clearly an admirer of what DPR has built and was quick to give advice. With over 20 years experience in the drug business, he's a wealth of information and a man with connections. Just the kind of man DPR needs to carry out his dirty work.
I have a problem that requires... One of my employees stole from me. Not a lot, but it pisses me off to no end.
Do you want him beat up, shot, just paid a visit?
I'd like to beat him up, then force him to send the bitcoins he stole back. Like, sit him down at his computer and make him do it.
Who is it and where is he?
I'll send you his ID.
He's about to get into it with the cartel, bro? Because they're gonna think, the cartel's gonna think they
Cal Force is
set
sitting in the
up.
Marriott Hotel, staring at the ID of the man sitting across the table from him eating french fries. Curtis Green. Force and his partner Bridges have just completed a 2-hour interrogation with their informant. His lawyer had also been present but left early, instructing Green to just tell them everything he knows. Working undercover as the South American drug smuggler Eladio Guzman, or Nob, has been relatively fruitful so far. Force used it to orchestrate the sting operation that led to Green's arrest. He offered to supply a kilo of cocaine to a buyer through DPR, who proposed Green to act as the middleman that would hold onto the coke for the buyer. That worked like a charm. But Force didn't expect it would lead to this. He didn't think Green had the balls to steal from his boss, especially right under their noses. He looks up from his laptop.
You stole money from DPR?
Green looks up panicked.
No, you gotta be kidding me. I wouldn't even know how to steal a penny from him.
At first, Bridges is quiet, but then he jumps in too.
Just admit you stole the money.
The men know that with just a little bit of pressure, they can get their new informant to agree to anything. And Force has a plan. They just need one little signature to put it into action. Standing in the door of the Marriott Hotel bathroom, watching Curtis Green get
I guess not
waterboarded.
make him believe.
After all, he agreed to it in writing. When his partner got that message from DPR, Bridges knew it would play right into his hands. Blame the informant for the theft, carry out a fake hit for 80k in Bitcoin, and use it as evidence to put DPR away. None of the other men in the room will ever know that the real thief is Bridges himself.
I swear, I didn't steal the money.
Just admit it! Stop trying to protect DPR!
What do you do in this situation, bro? If you're so prideful, like, they're not gonna kill you. I would hope. Maybe they would, actually. I don't know. This is, I mean, we're talking about, what are we talking about? The FBI? Is this the FBI, CIA? Something in the US. They probably would kill you. But aside from that, if you didn't do it, there's no, like, bro.
The third agent dunks Green's head underwater over in bubbles. Green is begging the men to stop, but they have to make it look real for the camera. After all, DPR requested photo evidence from Nob.
They're gonna say, okay,
Force
yeah.
takes photo after photo,
Oh
and
my
Bridges
God.
just lets it happen. The funny thing is, if he hadn't stolen the money, Green never would have been a suspect for the theft, and Force never would have gotten such compromising messages from DPR. With his background in blockchain tech, stealing the Bitcoin...
The other agent doesn't know? 80k? That's it? You're gonna take 80,000. You're gonna risk everything for
It was
80,000.
easy.
That's
He logged into the Flash
wild.
moderator account and used its administrative privileges to reset the passwords and pins of several Silk Road vendors. He then emptied their accounts and moved 20,000 Bitcoin to a private wallet. He knew he had to hide his trail, so he rapidly transferred the Bitcoin through multiple digital wallets to the Japanese crypto exchange Mt. Gox. He is storing his loot there for now. And by a stroke of luck, Green turned out to be the perfect little scapegoat. The man is spluttering and crying on the bathroom floor. He's dunked 4 times to get the shot. But while the agents are busy pretending to carry out DPR's orders, the Silk Road Kingpin has a change of heart.
Okay, so you can change the order to execute rather than torture? He was on the inside for a while, and now that he's been arrested, I'm afraid he'll give up info.
The order to torture is now an order to kill.
Oh my god.
DPR is staring at the picture he just received from
Yeah,
Nob.
because wasn't that like the whole thing with him was like he would always say, "Oh, I just wanted it to be a place where people can use Bitcoin and like there was the marketplace and this, that, and the third." He never wanted the drugs and the guns and whatnot. But then he ends up killing people to keep the place up. Like, bro, you can't. What they say in Molly's game? You can't break the law. You can't break the law while breaking the law. That's what he's doing.
A lifeless, overweight body, pale, wet, and covered in puke. A few days earlier, he had gotten confirmation that the hit was complete. Green was waterboarded, almost drowning once, but kept alive with CPR, just to be tortured more. But before
I thought
Nob
they
could
killed
get the
him.
money back, Green died of asphyxiation and heart failure. The description was disturbing, but the picture confirms the story. DPR saves it to an encrypted folder and
Wait.
transfers the second half of the 80K in Bitcoin to Nob. The job is done. He knows it was necessary to protect his business. What he doesn't know is that it will also be his downfall. Because Green didn't die in a pool of his own vomit.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He played dead in a pool of Campbell's
Yeah,
soup.
yeah.
Now that Green is dead, or rather laying low at his home in Utah, Agent Force is back in Baltimore. He's sitting behind his DEA-issued laptop, continuing his undercover work as Nob. After 15 years of working on the front lines of the drug war, he's gotten pretty good at creating alternate personas. Compared
Okay,
to
so
his
he's an
old
undercover
roles, pretending you're someone
for the
else
cartel.
online
Okay,
is easy.
I see,
He
I
just threw on a
see.
dark hoodie, put on an eye patch, and held a sign reading "All Hail Nob," asked his daughter to take a grainy profile picture, and voila, he's a South American drug smuggler. He spent a lot of late nights sitting in his lounge chair, cultivating a friendship with DPR. They talk about everything: diet, music, family, personal issues, the drug trade. Force even gives advice on 30-second escape plans, legal counsel, and moving to another country. It takes months for DPR to trust him, but once he does, his efforts pay off. Now they have damning evidence that DPR paid someone to murder for him. Still, it's not
Wow.
worth much if they don't know who the man behind the mask really is. But Nob sees firsthand that DPR is beginning to show cracks. With his first murder out of the way, he becomes more fanatical and eager to hand out punishments. Force knows it's only a matter of time before he slips up and
Yeah,
gets
because
caught.
now he's like, it don't even matter. It's already
Homeland
been done
Security,
once.
The DEA, IRS, and the FBI are
Oh,
all
yeah, the
claiming
whole-
jurisdiction over the case. Illegal narcotics being sold,
You got the
packages
hole you
crossing
dig on
borders
you.
through the mail, transactions hosted on servers, Bitcoin being laundered. The Silk Road represents a new wave of crime that somehow touches on the purview of each agency. And they all want the glory of bringing the site and its mastermind down. So Force has to capitalize before the inevitable arrest. He saw how easily DPR would transfer 80K to a sanctioned government wallet for the supposed hit on Green. But why not get more without them knowing? Just like Bridges, he assumes the nature of crypto will allow him to steal without getting caught. So he moves his conversations with DPR to an encrypted chat his colleagues don't have access to. In June, Nob sells DPR some fake IDs for 400 Bitcoin, which he likely needs to evade police and to rent more servers to handle the rapid expansion of his empire. In August, Nob introduces him to Kevin, another persona.
Do you think they
he
still
created,
have the
a
Bitcoin?
corrupt law enforcement official who could sell DPR insider information on the ongoing Silk Road investigation. For 525 Bitcoin, he does just that. Then Force creates even more fake personas.
But I was about to say they're selling fake
French-made.
stuff
For
to
100K
them.
in Bitcoin, he provides insider information to DPR, claiming that the former CEO of Mt. Gox has allegedly leaked his real name to the Department of Homeland Security. Albert Pacino. For
My
$500 a
God.
week, he positions himself as a DEA spy, providing insider scoops on the ongoing Silk Road investigation. Death from above. He threatens to expose DPR's real identity unless he's paid $250,000 in Bitcoin. But DPR doesn't seem to take too kindly to blackmail and calls his bluff. Either way, Force manages to steal hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Silk Road Kingpin. And like
500 USD a week?
Silk Road Kingpin. And like Bridges, he tries to hide the
That's
money
it?
trail and bounces the Bitcoin around a
What?
variety of wallets and exchanges. But the amount of money he's moving is suspicious. Then one day, Force hears a rumor. Dread Pirate Roberts might have been found. The Baltimore Task Force receives an official stand-down order. The FBI
so
team
now
in
he's
New York
freaking
has
out.
beaten them
Wait,
to it.
wait,
For Force, it's
Yeah,
bad
look at him.
news. Really bad. If the
Yeah.
agents manage to arrest DPR on his laptop, they will definitely find his chats with him. In a panic, he messages DPR.
My informant, Kevin, is certain that you are going to be identified and caught. You are like one of my family,
So
but I have
he-
to tell you that I have had several
Oh.
people killed who were sent to jail. It is very easy and cheap. I trust that you have destroyed all messages, chats, etc. between us.
Force never finds out if DPR did. On October 1st, 2013,
They got
Force
him!
Ulbricht is arrested in a public library in San Francisco. While he's distracted by two agents, another manages to snatch his laptop from him. He's still logged into the Silk Road as Dread Pirate Roberts. The site is shut down almost immediately. The FBI sees all data from its servers and confiscate the 144,000 bitcoins found in Ulbricht's cold wallet.
Jesus.
At the time, they're worth between $16 to $18 million. Just under 1 million users are locked up forever. 1 month and 3 days later, Silk Road 2.0 goes live on the dark web. It was launched by admins of the original site who were still at large. Carl Force is hailed as one of the heroes who brought down Dread Pirate Roberts. His sting operation
Why? You made it out the first time. Why try to go for it again? That's just
and the resulting fake assassination helped
What are you
build a strong
thinking,
case
bro?
against Ulbricht, painting him as a bloodthirsty kingpin. For a while, Force thinks he's gotten away with it.
Yeah, look
With
at
his
bro.
newfound fame at the DEA and hundreds of thousands of dollars of crypto sitting in several wallets and exchanges, he starts to get cocky. He keeps triggering anti-money laundering checks on services like Venmo and exchanges like Bitstamp when he moves or liquidates his Bitcoin. When his accounts get flagged, he tries to bypass the blocks by throwing his DEA agent status
Why would he
around.
try to liquidate
Eventually,
it?
Bitstamp support asks him why he's logging into the service through Tor.
I utilize Tor for privacy. Don't particularly want NSA looking over my shoulder.
This reply raises more red flags, and Bitstamp contacts law enforcement.
Yeah.
And they promptly kickstart an investigation into Force. Meanwhile, he becomes more and more brazen. Without his boss's knowledge, he begins to work as the de facto chief compliance officer for the crypto exchange CoinMKT. Using his authority as a DEA agent, he instructs CoinMKT to freeze the balance of a user's account and tells them to transfer the $337,000 to a government account. Then he transfers $300K of those funds to a private wallet. To cover for his crimes, he creates false reports to mislead his superiors, claiming that only $37K had been seized. Shortly after, he sends an unauthorized Justice Department subpoena to Venmo, ordering them to unfreeze his personal account, which had been frozen due to suspicious activity. Every move he makes becomes another breadcrumb in
The amount of power he has, and you wouldn't know about him, but the amount of power he has to just do that type of stuff is insane.
the investigation against him, making the money trail easier and easier to follow. By spring of 2014, a massive investigation into
cooked.
Force is in full swing. At its center is IRS Special Agent Tigran Kambarian, an expert in cyber and digital currency
What do you even
crimes.
do
Under his guidance, a team of agents unravels Force's transactions.
at that point?
They
I feel like
track
you're
his
just
finances by
I feel like you're just so all over the place. By that point, there's no damage control.
carefully analyzing the blockchain, a public ledger of all Bitcoin transactions. Combined with the data that was recovered from Silk Road servers after the takedown, a picture begins to form. The funds from the Silk Road are first tracked down to specific wallets, then to specific bank accounts. But to the agent's surprise, not all were owned by force. When analyzing the outflow of Bitcoin from Silk Road, they noticed that some of the transactions lead to
Or
his
Greens.
partner.
Or no. Oh, yeah,
Bridges
because
had
he
since
stole
liquidated
too.
his 20,000
Because he was the
Bitcoin
first
for
one to steal.
$800,000 and attempted to hide the money in a variety of offshore shell companies.
So he wouldn't have gotten caught if his partner didn't, bro. Oh my god.
What the special
No
agents thought to be an
shot.
untraceable currency actually left a clear trail leading right to their doors. The ongoing
Oh,
investigation into Force
man.
and Bridges is intentionally suppressed during the trial against Ross Albrecht. The jury never hears of their corruption before DPR is convicted. He is found guilty on 7 counts and gets 2 life terms plus 40 years without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, that was
In March
it.
2015, both Force and Bridges are arrested. Force
It's crazy that he got that too, because it's like, I mean, not that crazy for him, but people always talk about, say he didn't do the murders. How's he an agent, but they don't see all the transactional as money? It's through Bitcoin, and he's doing like offshore accounts. He's doing like one of them had it in a Japanese transaction, like Bitcoin transaction site. And the other one, I forgot what the other one was. But that's what Venmo and the other platform started like sending out stuff to the law, being like, "Hey, this dude's laundering. You guys need to do something." And then that's how they ended up finding him. If they would have just worked together, they both would have got out. They both would have got out with like 100K or like 100K Bitcoin, bro.
is charged with money laundering, obstruction of justice, and extortion. He gets
Oh
6
yeah,
and a
it's weird because people talk about if he didn't do the murders or like set out the hits for people, would he have gotten that same amount of time? Like, what would his time have been if he was just like the Silk Road like admin? You know,
half years and a $340K fine for stealing more than $700,000 worth of Bitcoin.
because
Bridges
it
is
wasn't like up to him what happened on the site.
charged with money laundering and obstruction of justice.
People were just
He
able to
gets
buy
6
and
years
sell
for
whatever they
stealing more than
wanted.
$800,000 worth of Bitcoin and a $651,000 fine.
God.
One day before he's supposed to report to prison,
Only 6
he's
years?
caught while apparently trying to flee the country. He had just stolen another 1,600 Bitcoin from a government wallet, earning him another 24 months.
Oh,
Curtis Green originally faces a
no.
maximum sentence of 40 years for his cocaine and trafficking
He
charges.
helped, though.
But because he was
And
real
he was
tortured
tortured.
and fake murdered, he's ultimately let go with time served. In 2025, President Donald Trump signed a full and unconditional pardon for Ross Albrecht.
He freed him? I didn't know that. Cause like I've heard a couple of stuff, like a couple of things about him. I didn't know he was freed by Trump. Yo, that's insane. Okay, that's crazy. That was a crazy video. Good video, man. Oh my god.